All right, here we are. Another episode. Another day, another episode. Today we got some poor man's burn ends, which ain't exactly true with today's prices, if you can see that, because we're using some chuck roast. Yeah, it's Angus, a little more expensive, but it's $6.50 a pound. And then we're going to be doing some even poorer man's burn ends with some Spam. 25% less sodium as well. So we can jazz it up as we see fit. Not have to worry about overdoing the sodium action. But I'm going with kind of a sweeter, bourbon-y type deal. So we got some brown sugar bourbon. And I'm going to intermittently, after we get it cooking, spritz it down with a little bit of rum, some cheap rum, a little spritzer, so as not to dry it out. But get our meat cracked open, see what we're going to do. Because it's going to be real simple. We're just going to take our chuck roast, plop her down there, get some of this silver skin and whatnot off of it. Take that little bit of fat off there. Just get her trimmed up nicely. And the only thing I'm doing different, since obviously the Spam is already cooked, I'm not gonna obviously cook it as long as the chuck roast is gonna get cooked, because that wouldn't make any sense. I'm taking off way too much meat right here, but that's all right. It's gonna be just fine. All right, so basically here's what we're doing. We're gonna cut this chuck up into roughly 1 by 1 inch pieces, so the final product will be bite size. And we're going to do the same thing with the Spam. So let me get this cut up and we'll go to the next step. All right, chuck roast is cut into roughly, like I said, 1 inch by 1 inch or so pieces. But you want them to be roughly the same size so they cook at roughly the same time. And we'll just douse these with some brown sugar bourbon. And then get them on our rack. I'm going to use this rack for easy transport to and fro. We're using the Pit Boss pellet smoker today, because I ain't used it for a while and I just feel like using it. So that's why we're using it. All right, we've got our chuck roast all cut up, seasoned, placed on our wire rack. Let's get this Spam going. I'm pretty stoked to see how the Spam's gonna turn out. I ain't had Spam forever. See if I can get out in one clump. There we go. Oh yeah, good old Spam. Cornerstone of any nutritious breakfast. So basically, same thing. Get it cut up in roughly the same 1 inch by 1 inch squares and get it seasoned up. All right, so there we got it. Got our poor man's and our even poorer man's burn ends. Alrighty, we're about up to 250. We're going 250, maybe 260, something like that for the cook. I should have took that top rack out again. And then I'm going to let these go, the Spam, since it's already cooked, until I feel it's sufficiently smoked flavored. And then we're going to let them go to their about 160, 165. Alrighty, we're about to go get a 1 hour update and a 1 hour Spritz and temp reading. So what I'm going to spritz it with, half apple juice, and half cheap rum. Girlfriend's probably going to get mad at me for using her rum, but oh well. Alrighty. All right, let's go check her. Get a close up. About the 140 mark. Let's get a temp reading on that. Ooh, we're going to take that off. That's about 180 something. So I'm going to grab them. About 153. I'm going to come back and get them off just here in a minute. All right, we're at an average of 170 on the chuck roast burn ends. So now the next phase is to get everybody in this pan. All right, the Spam gets one side and the chuck gets the other side. Now we're just going to take our pre-cut pads of butter, lay them on top like so. Actually, I might put 4 pieces over here, since they're slightly more chuck than Spam. That should work out a little better. Now we're going to get our hot honey. You can use regular honey, whatever. I like to use hot honey. And just generously slathered on. And for good measures, I'm going to take our spritzer that we used earlier and just go back over with the light spritz. And then these are going back in the smoker until those are at about 205. So I'm probably gonna have to take the Spam out a little earlier because there ain't no reason for that to get that hot. All right, let's get a gander at these. Let's get a temp reading. Right at 200, which is good enough for me. That's close enough. See, we got 205, 6, 7 on that one. That's perfect. So now what we're going to do is basically just let them sit here, cool off a little bit. Let them simmer in them juices. And then we'll be back for the taste test. Alrighty, it's review time. We got the poor man's burnt in, aka chuck roast. And we got the even poorer man's burnt in, aka Spam. And to be quite honest, they both look delish. So I'm expecting a lot from this. Let's just get a close-up of that. Alrighty, let's tear in. As always with our meat, let's get a cross section. I like that. I like the looks of that. Mmm. Yeah, that tastes exactly how I would expect a burnt-in to taste. Exactly. Nope. As they say, that's the perfect alternative to a brisket. Although with today's meat prices, I'm not sure you can say that's poor man's, because it ain't that cheap. But damn, that's good. Especially to get it slathered in your juices in there with that honey and whatnot. And that's fire. That's a must try. Let's get a cross section. I'm not even sure if that's necessary. Ooh. Oh. All right. Spam burn in. True poor man's. Mmm. It's all right. The only thing I don't like is, and that was even reduced sodium. That was reduced sodium Spam, and it's just too salty for me. Yeah. Man. That's really salty. I'm gonna have to give that a no-go. I wonder if they make a zero sodium Spam. Because boy, that's all I can taste with that. I wouldn't go for the poorer man's burn-ins. I'd stick with chuck roast. That is delish. All right, I think that's it. Covered everything. More details will be in the description. Thumbs up, thumb down, thumb sideways, subscribe, bell, you know, all that jazz. We're out.